Hey everyone, this is Annette Dion, the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. I hope you're doing great. It's Sunday night, it's 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. I thought I'd jump on and do a check-in on what's going on in the news, because there is a lot going on. And let's just do some catching up. So we know that tomorrow Clark is set to testify in front of the January 6th Commission. The guides are showing me volumes of more information coming out about January 6th and what and who was behind it. And the guides also tell me they have all the evidence that they need. They're still gathering more evidence, but they have everything they need to prosecute. We're going to look real quick at what's going on in 45's head. So real quick, because we don't want to stay there too long. The information that I'm getting just psychically is that there's a lot of gathering the forces. 45's really engaged in like gathering groups of people together. It's really hard for him to do that, not being on Facebook or Twitter. And but I still see him hard at work at that. I feel like if he wasn't doing that, he would be bored out of his mind. So what 45 is doing is spending a lot of time seeing if he can get groups to converge and be, you know, all about stopping the steal, even though we're almost 1 year from one of the most secure, well, the most secure election ever to happen in the United States. If you do not believe that, then you probably don't want to watch my channel. Love and light to you. I've been a psychic for way too long, and I've seen way too much with my physical eyes to think anything else. So those are those people that jump on, the trolls that jump on and say, you don't know what's really going on. I'm like the big eye roll emoji, like, give me a break. I think I can trust my intuition at this point, as we see the devil card coming up at the bottom of the pile. So I want to tell everyone, if you're watching the news and it's scaring you, understand it's designed to scare you, not that it's misinformation, but it's people that are saying things that they don't know to be true, which is completely irresponsible. Acting like they're predicting the future, and I don't see that they're, you know, not credentialed. It's hard to be a credentialed psychic, but I don't see any evidence of their psychic abilities, you know, on MSNBC and CNN, assuming all these things. Like, for instance, he's running in 2024 when nobody's got evidence that that's true. But he loves it. He loves, 45 has loved keeping himself in the public eye and on the news, and it's unbelievable. And he even loved it, and this is really hard to even say, when Alec Baldwin got involved in that accident on the set of that movie they were making, which really exposed all the maleficent, you know, greed in the movie industry, which we now have right in front of our eyes, that's been exposed. But 45 loved that because 45 can't take a joke, and Alec Baldwin played him on SNL many times, and people laughed and they thought it was fun and funny, but 45 has no concept of fun. So anyway, he was happy when Alec Baldwin was involved in that tragic accident that happened on the set, where he got a gun that was loaded when it was told to him that it was a cold gun, which means it's not loaded. Send prayers to him. I sense that Alec Baldwin is really a good guy. And he's just an actor, you know, and he was just acting. He was doing what he does. So really sad, and yeah, send him some positive vibes. Of course, he's not liable for anything because it was a total accident, but, you know, some of the 45's cohorts, people that considered themselves to be leaders, that act like they're evil middle schoolers, just mean tweets. Anyway, so let's take a look at 45. What's up with him right now? What's up with him? Well, besides he's gathering all his minions. And it just feels like to see if they can do something, but they don't really know what, right? They don't really know what. Yeah, so they're thinking about, I mean, for example, speaking of MSNBC and being irresponsible, I just heard somebody say something like, they're getting ready for the second coup. I'm sorry, if you don't have hard facts and evidence that they're going to have a second coup, then don't say it. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, the challenge is that 45 is gathering his minions to do something, but I'm not getting that it's going to come to fruition because, like, I don't read cards upside down. Because it's not going to come to fruition because he doesn't have the means. He doesn't have the means. So don't listen to people that are telling you to be afraid, because you should never be afraid. Even if something's scary, don't tell yourself that being afraid is going to make it better. No, there's the moon is that there are too many kind of erratic emotions going on for anything that's cohesive to come together. And the guides just said something about Vladimir Putin. I don't feel like he's in communication with him anymore. I don't feel like Vlad and 45 are really communicating, but I feel like 45 is trying to get in. The plot thickens. The veils are very thin between the worlds because it's so close to Halloween that I'm getting all kinds of zany information. I feel like 45 is attempting to reach out to Vladimir, but the guides are showing me that he's only like 25% in Vlad's ear when it used to be 100%. And I feel like Putin's moved on. He's such an evil man. I do feel like Putin's moved on. Moved on to what? He's angry that Biden's president, but I don't feel like, I feel like Putin's kind of like, ugh, that's not worth the trouble. Let's look at Bannon. All right, let's look at Bannon. What's going on with Bannon? Well, this is the surrender card. Bannon's going to have to surrender. The star is the United States. A while ago, I got that Bannon was going to give up the goods. This is a communication card. But he's going to make a big fuss so as to get a lot of negative attention. I see Bannon just spouting and spewing lies for attention. But I feel like that, and this is what I feel like for most of them, that they're going to be spewing lies. That's their plan. We're going to go and we're going to spew lies. We're going to, and really, these people with no morals and no scruples and no ethics that are, the 45 cohorts are actually testing the system to see if they can get away with being that brazen and that criminal. And thus far, it looks like they can and they have. So the next thing we're going to look at, because I feel like Bannon's going to be cuffed and taken in for questioning. And the United States, this is a January 6th commission, they are on top of it. They have everything that they need. He's going to sit there and lie his head off. Lie, just because, the precedent has been set that they can get away with it. That's why he's doing it. That's why he's planning to go there and lie his head off. Bannon is. Because so far, 45 and cohorts have gotten away with it. Now, Jeffrey Clark, however, is going to give up the goods. I think that Bannon will eventually, once he realizes that he's backed into a corner. But I see. I kind of see that Clark has made up his mind that he's going to out 45, and I'm not really sure what's made him decide that. Let's see. Because when I think of Clark, I think that he has everything that he's going to say all wrapped up neatly in a box. But it doesn't look like it's lies. So I almost feel like, without looking too much into the story of Jeffrey Clark, and I don't know, it's so confusing. Because there were so many people being fired and hired at the end of 45's reign. He wasn't a president, but anyway. There were so many people in and out that I think Clark was the one who was supposed to step in for Barr, I think. It was a mess. We know that, right? But I do think that he has a bunch of information, and it's like a limited amount. It's not like it's a small amount, but a good amount of information that he's decided the amount. Like he's going to tell this much. And I feel like he's angry at 45. Promises made, not kept. Yeah, so much for that slogan, right? So let's see what's going to happen with Clark tomorrow at that hearing. The January 6th Commission has, this is what's going on with Clark. The January 6th Commission knows, and he knows that they know. So he's decided to go in and pretty much the facts that they have, he's going to just line up what he knows of the story, and no more, no less. He's going to line up what he knows of the story of what happened January 6th with the January 6th Commission. I just feel like it's limited. What Clark is going to give is going to be limited. It's going to be, okay, I'll give you this much. You have that, okay, check. You have that, okay, check. But I do feel like he's mad at 45. So there may be more coming out. The Empress card keeps coming up for the United States. And these two cards keep coming up for the January 6th Commission. You might have known if you've been following me, following my videos. So the Empress is a lot of information. Liz Cheney, man, it's almost like she's a detective. That woman has so much information. It's almost like Liz Cheney was an insider. Well, she's a Republican. So she got to hear what was going on, you know, with the Republicans, because she probably was in on, I don't know, lunch, dinners, whatever, meetings with more Republicans. So Liz Cheney's got the goods. I'm telling you, and Adam does too. But it's almost like I see Liz like she was taking notes, because she knew they were up to no good. The guides are showing me that Liz Cheney is she's got some psychic abilities that she knows she has and she uses, which is interesting. Okay, somebody asked, switching topics, somebody asked who lives in the Northwest, what about earthquakes there? Because they're having like earthquake drills in the Northwest. That part of the country right now is getting hit with massive river floods. Like, I mean like flooding that's almost like a river pouring down from the sky. We got to do something about this global climate change. We just can't let it go unchecked anymore. That's too scary. Okay, so that's not really connected to the earthquakes, but I do see a lot of instability. And I know, I think I just heard that LA just had like a 3.5 earthquake, which they're kind of used to that anyway. I see a little shaking in Southern California. Nothing major just right now. I'm not going to look any farther ahead. But let's look at the Pacific Northwest in terms of, well, the fires will be gone. The fires will be, I mean, this rain that's coming in, the fires will be completely gone. I did say I saw rain in the fall several months ago that would put out the fires, but not in this amount. Earthquakes, and I see small earthquakes. I do. I see in like Portland, Oregon, Seattle area. I don't see like the big earthquake in San Francisco of 18, whatever it was. I don't see that type of thing. But I do see enough. It feels like the guides are on it. The angels and guides are on it. I do see enough to make people be safe. So I feel like, you know, it's good that they're doing earthquake drills, you know, in the Pacific Northwest, because there will be, the ground will be shaking. The ground is the earth is kind of unstable right now. And you know, Uranus and Taurus gives me the sense that Uranus is the big disruptor. Uranus is like Aquarius in the sense that it's like lightning and sudden things and shaking things up, quite literally. The guys just said something about Yellowstone. We're going to see some activity. The world is not going to end, not just yet, not in the near future. But I do see, I'll pick a few cards, but that's just what I'm picking up about earthquakes in the Pacific Northwest area. Okay, this is, yeah, there'll be some. Don't panic, just be prepared for such a thing. I mean, think of it this way. In Southern California, they have earthquakes all the time. So I wasn't even surprised to hear that they just said, I think it was a 3.5, just a short time ago, just today. So it's going to be like that. Like just expect the ground to shake every once in a while. I don't see anything major, but I do see damage. I don't see massive loss of life. I just see some damage from earthquakes, but it's not major. It's just the ground's going to shake a little. I mean, I live in New England. I live in Massachusetts. The ground has shaken before. A couple, 2-3 times that I remember. And I think I kind of missed it. Like it was at night and I was asleep and I don't know. I didn't get woken up by it. Okay, so where are we going next? So that's about that. Let me just look at the rain situation in California right now. I think it's hitting now. Almost 8:30 Eastern time. So yeah, I think it's hitting now. I see massive landslides and mudslides. So I hope people have evacuated. What's going to happen with the rain? Well, you know, one thing's for sure. This is, you know, just going back briefly to the Alec Baldwin situation. What's going to happen with that is people are alerted to what needs to be done for safety. And so the similarity is with the earthquakes and the global climate change disasters. I know it should have happened by now, but dark money is running the world. That is going to make people reach a point of we've got to do something. You know, it's sink or swim, literally. So yeah, the Ten of Swords is like, yes, the deluge is coming down on California of the rains, and people are going to start speaking out. Now, I mentioned a few weeks back, unrelated topic, but kind of related, Gavin Newsom, I felt like it was really going to hold the feet to the fire of the big oil companies after that oil spill, that, you know what, I'm still thinking about it, and I hope you are. The people are getting really fed up and angry. Do something by now already. It's infuriating. The Princess of Pentacles and the Prince of Swords. Okay. I see environmental organizations coming together and taking some action. So this is going to be rough on California. These rains are going to be rough. Let's not kid ourselves. And people are going to be up in arms. And, I always say it takes a disaster. Unfortunately, it does. But you know what? I mean, it takes a disaster for people to speak up and to do something. But what does it take for big money and dark money to not be destroying the planet? That's really the question, right? As an Eight of Pentacles, it's going to be enough money to be made in alternative energy sources. That's what's going to change everything. So there are a lot of discussions, yeah, and I see the King of Pentacles there. Joe Biden, this has been my card for Joe Biden lately, is I feel like he's going to be talking about how these big oil companies, these coal industries and fossil fuel will be shown the profit margin of going to renewables. Just like not too long ago, somebody was saying that China was going to invest heavily in coal and big oil and fossil fuels, and I didn't see it because there's too much money to be made in renewables. China's all about the money. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Money makes the world go round. It certainly does in more ways than we like to think. Okay, infrastructure bill. They're going to talk to Manchin. Now, I want to say about that, I heard that they're going to talk to Manchin again. I mean, I consider myself a fairly patient person, but I wouldn't have the patience for Joe Manchin. Some time ago, this infrastructure thing has been going on for way too long. Some time ago, I said that in the end, as this infrastructure bill, kind of comes closer and closer to finally being passed, I saw, and I think I might have said Schumer, I saw somebody sitting down with Joe Manchin and going, dude, really? Do you really want us to out you about what we do know? Not like blackmail or bribe or anything, but kind of like wink, wink. We won't say anything if you just cooperate with us and get this bill passed so that your constituents in West Virginia can get some money. And the guides are showing me Manchin handcuffed. What the heck was that? Hands are tied. Manchin feels like that's what that was. I don't feel like it's an arrest. The guides are just showing me Manchin's hands are tied. But it's going to be called out by Chuck Schumer, because Chuck Schumer knows, and Joe Biden knows. I mean, I don't feel like I need to pull cards about that. So what I'll pull cards, because I see it very clearly. I'll pull cards about whether it's going to work with Manchin. I feel like Manchin's trying to get them down to 1.8 trillion. Yeah, this is totally what I was just talking about. The high priestess is like Schumer and Biden they know Manchin's secrets. So we all know he's being funded by big oil and coal, but they have more than even we know. There's been a lot of investigations going on. Four of Pentacles is they're going to sit down, they're going to negotiate with him. Is it going to work? Manchin feels like he'll be getting what he wants because he won't get in trouble if he signs on to the bill, to the infrastructure bill. So I say that the thing about Manchin is he just wants to have his day in the sun, in the spotlight, and he's very reluctant to give up that, oh, I'm in the news again. Just like Sinema, they're two peas in a pod, I'm telling you what. Sinema, though, to me, Kyrsten Sinema, the high school, I don't know. It just reminds me of somebody who thinks she's way more beautiful than she really is. Because beauty comes from within, right? Let's be real. The guides are showing me Kyrsten Sinema like with duct tape over her mouth. It's not literal. She just won't. I mean, it's weird. It's almost like getting yourself to a place where you've said to yourself so much, I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to say anything, that she's almost rendered mute. Sinema. I just feel like she's going to still say nothing. How could she? She might get impeached. Can you impeach a senator? I just said, can you impeach a senator? Sinema's done. She is done because she's being a fool. And the Four of Pentacles is a Democrat sitting down with Sinema going, we're not going to put up with this crap anymore. Wow. I said it and there it was. Kyrsten Sinema's done. She's not going to be allowed to continue to play this game of saying nothing. Because she's not doing the job that she contractually agreed to uphold the Constitution, to support the Democrats. Absolutely. These cards couldn't be any more telling. Kyrsten Sinema is digging a hole for herself. They're going to talk to her and she's going to continue to say nothing. Nothing. This is her being just like mute, just incapable of speaking. It makes sense that the guides gave me this image of her having duct tape on her. Yeah, because she's in bed with Big Pharma. Kyrsten Sinema is, and that means that she's sworn to secrecy. Wow. I can tell Halloween is right around the corner because the guides are just going on and on and on and on. And I was going to make this kind of a short video, but we'll just see what else comes up. Because there's some real important stuff on the table. This week is going to be a big week. So tomorrow's the 25th. Last week of October. Mars goes into what? Scorpio? On the 30th? Yikes. I always look over there because my astrology calendar is on the wall, and I just noticed that. It looks like Mars going into Scorpio. Is that right? I think I'm reading that correctly from a distance. Things are gonna get crazier, so I want to just everyone hold on to your hat. Understand that things are gonna get crazier and find ways to keep your cool. Because it's not gonna help to get upset about it. I'm looking for my, I had some questions written down. I'll just do a couple more questions. What did I write here? So there's Bannon and 45 and no, that's the church. Is McAuliffe going to win in Virginia? Yes, but it's going to be a mess. What will happen to where's it? Oh, I'm pretty good. Will the Supreme Court be expanded? Okay, here's what I get on the Supreme Court. What's going to happen? Because, you know, we deserve somebody who's rational on the Supreme Court. I'm telling you, Ruth is rolling over in her grave. I'm sure she's fine on the other side with her hubby. And I see Joe Biden having 3 people in mind to be Supreme Court appointees. Mitch McConnell has got to go. He's got to go. This is so... You know what I'm going to ask? Instead of asking that question about the Supreme Court, are we going to get any power back? Because Mitch McConnell has too much power. Nobody in a democracy should have that much power. I promised myself I wouldn't get angry. Okay, I'm not angry. I just think Mitch McConnell, if anything bad happened, I would have a hard time feeling bad. That's all. That's all. I would have a hard time mustering it up. For how much damage that man has done, Mitch McConnell has really, 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 really... Thought 45 was bad. It's Mitch McConnell's almost just as bad. Oh, the chariot. It looks like there's a tactic for Biden to push through a Supreme Court justice, the chariot. It's on his mind anyway. He has somebody in mind. He has more than one person in mind for the Supreme Court. Biden does. There's a lot of hoops to jump through, but I feel like he's already started the process going. So the question is it going to work? Is it going to work with Mitch McConnell? I mean, I just feel like he stands guard at the door of the Supreme Court, symbolically. I see Mitch McConnell standing guard, not letting anybody in. Oh, I think he's going to have to. Yeah, Biden's lining up more Supreme Court justices, and Mitch McConnell he's standing at the door. I see him symbolically. He's standing at the door of the Supreme Court, and then I got the tower. It's going to be